Hi, my name is Bunnycakes and welcome back to my channel. I've been to the library again recently, so I'm going to do another ginormous book haul because the library is where I get most of my reading material, though I do have several new ebooks that I'm going to show as well. The first book I want to show is Wicked Resurrection by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigay. Um, if you watched my last book haul and my reviews for the first two slash four books, you'll know that I really wanted to find this book because I was going to read 4/5 of the series. I thought I had the whole series, and then I came to find out that there was a fifth book, and um, the main reason I wanted to read this book is because there was just one more book left in the series, and sometimes I can be a bit of a completionist. This book, its blurb reads, "What the Cahors witches thought was the end of their troubles was only the beginning. A threat more powerful and more frightening than anything they have faced has been watching and waiting. The Cahors witches must come together and find Jer and Eli as both the Devereaux and the Cahors witches family lines face eradication. All the secrets of the Cahors will be revealed, forcing them to overcome their greatest weaknesses in order to achieve their most powerful strengths. And only united do they have a chance at victory. Before the end, sacrifices will be made, alliances forged, and old friends lost forever." I hope that this book ties up a lot of the loose ends that were left hanging from the last book, and I hope that it improves upon the series. I look forward to reading it, but my hopes aren't super high. My next book is it's the book equivalent to reality TV, in my opinion. It's a really cheesy paranormal romance, or at least that's what it appears to be. It's called Eat, Pray, Love. Its book blurb reads, "Carlos Pantera is looking for a mate, a woman who will love and care for the young orphans he's recently taken under his wing, or paw, as the case may be. When the shapeshifter spies beautiful Caitlin, it's like sunshine amidst the darkness. At last he's found the perfect woman, except Caitlin Whalen is immortal. Worse, her father is the head of a CIA agency bent on hunting the undead. Still, Caitlin knows that Carlos is the man for her, shapeshifter or not. So she jumps at the chance when her sister offers her a job to work with him, determined to show Carlos their attraction is more than just animal magnetism. But danger lurks in the night, and their unleashed, untamed passion might just get them both killed." So it looks fun and interesting and light, and sometimes that's the kind of reading flavor I'm into. The next book is part of a series. Oh, I forgot to say, this book was by Carolyn Sparks. The next book is part of a series that I've seen some people talk about with mixed reviews, and I just kind of got interested in it because at the moment I'm kind of interested in spoofy historical fiction and revamps of old fairy tales. This is Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles. Its book blurb reads, "Humans and androids crowd the raucous streets of New Beijing. A deadly plague ravages the population. From space, a ruthless lunar people watch, waiting to make their move. No one knows that Earth's fate hinges on one girl. 16-year-old Cinder, a gifted mechanic, is a cyborg. She's a second-class citizen with a mysterious past and is reviled by her stepmother. But her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai. She suddenly finds herself at the center of an intergalactic struggle and a forbidden attraction. Caught between duty and freedom, loyalty and betrayal, she must uncover secrets about her past in order to protect her world's future, because there is something unusual about Cinder, something that others would kill for." So it looks interesting, and I hope I like it, but if not, oh well, it's not like I paid for it. The next book I have is the next book in the Lunar Chronicles. It's Scarlet, also by Marissa Meyer. Its book blurb reads, "Cinder the cyborg mechanic returns in the second thrilling installment of the best-selling Lunar Chronicles. She's trying to break out of prison, even though if she succeeds, she'll be the Commonwealth's most wanted fugitive. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. Halfway around the world, Scarlet Benoit's grandmother is missing. When Scarlet encounters Wolf, a street fighter who may have information about her grandmother's whereabouts, she is loath to trust this stranger, but but is inexplicably drawn to him, and he to her. As Scarlet and Wolf unravel one mystery, they encounter another when they meet Cinder. Now all of them must stay one step ahead of the vicious lunar queen, Levana, who will do anything for her handsome prince, Kai, to become her husband, her king, her prisoner. So again, this looks interesting, and if I like Cinder, I will definitely read this. If I don't enjoy Cinder, I'm probably not going to read this. And I probably won't read any more of the series. The next book I have is by Seth Grahame-Smith. It's called The Last of American Vampire. It is a sequel to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which was a book that I really enjoyed. I actually quite liked the movie, too. In some ways, the movie was better, even though it kind of skipped over some things. This book's book blurb says, in Reconstruction-era America, vampire Henry Sturgis is searching for renewed purpose in the wake of his friend Abraham Lincoln's shocking death. Henry's will be an expansive journey that first sends him to England for an unexpected encounter with Jack the Ripper, then to New York City for the birth of a new American century, the dawn of the electric era of Tesla and Edison, and the blazing disaster of 1937, the Hindenburg crash. Along the way, Henry goes on the road in a Korok-influenced trip as Seth Grahame-Smith ingeniously weaves vampire history through Russia's October Revolution, the First and Second World Wars, and the JFK assassination. Expansive in scope and serious in execution, The Last American Vampire is sure to appeal to the passionate readers who made Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter a runaway success. So, I hope this is as good as the first book, and I look forward to reading it. And as always with Seth Grahame-Smith's books, I love the cover art. The next book I have is the third installment to the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I have been trying to read this series because I just haven't, and I've always wanted to, but also because the new movie will be coming out soon, and I'm not sure how much of the series that it's going to cover. So I want to get as deep into this series as possible before that movie comes out. This book's blurb reads, preparing the way for the publication of the saga's concluding volumes, this hardcover edition of The Wastelands, the exciting third book in the series, features a special introduction by the author and all of the full-color illustrations by Ned Dameron from the original limited edition published by Donald M. Grant, publisher in 1991. Roland continues his quest for the Dark Tower, but he is no longer alone. He has trained Eddie and Susanna, who entered the midworld from their separate winds in New York City, in the drawing of the three. In the old ways of the gunslinger. But their quartet is not yet complete. Another must be drawn from New York into the midworld. Someone who has been there before, a boy who has died not once but twice and yet still lives. The quartet, four who are bound together by fate, must travel far in this novel, encountering not only the poisonous wastelands but the ravaged city of Lud that lies beyond, but also the rage of a train that might be their only means of escape. So, I guess that's this evil-looking train right here on the cover. I flipped through this and looked at the art, and it is kind of amazing. Let me see if I can flip one open here. Look at that. I love great book art, and the Dark Tower series so far has not disappointed. Look at the inside cover. It's awesome. Okay, the last physical book I have is by Dean Koontz. It's Ashley Bell. It is a mystery. Its book blurb reads, Bibi Blair is a fierce, funny, dauntless young woman whose doctor says she has 1 year to live. She replies, we'll see. Her sudden recovery astonishes medical science. An enigmatic woman convinces Bibi that she escaped death so that she can save someone else, someone named Ashley Bell. But save her from what and from whom? And who is Ashley Bell? Where is she? Beebe's obsession with finding Ashley sends her on the run from threats both mystical and worldly, including a rich and charismatic cult leader with terrifying ambitions. So, I like Dean Koontz quite a bit. I found him as a horror writer, but I also find that his mysteries are really, really good. I found this actually in the large print section, which I didn't even know our library had. And so I'm going to be venturing over there soon because there are so many books in the large print section by authors that I like that aren't in the regular print section, and having really big text just makes it easier to read because I can just about read this without my glasses, which if you knew me and you knew how blind I am without my glasses, you would know is saying something. So my next set of books I have on my Kindle here. The first one is the utterly uninteresting and unadventurous tales of Fred the Vampire Accountant by Drew Hayes. There's the cover. This looks to be really funny. I found this while I was going through my books on my Kindle, and I had originally read the Fat Vampire series, which is hilarious. And this is another one of those kind of trash type books that's it's really light and not heavy. Its book blurb, which I'm reading from my laptop here, says some people are born boring, some people live boring, some even die boring. Fred managed to do all three when he woke up as a vampire. He he did so as a boring one, timid, socially awkward, and plagued with self-esteem issues. Fred has never been the adventurous sort. One fateful night, different from the night he died, which was more inconvenient than fateful, Fred reconnects with an old friend at his high school reunion. The rekindled relationship sets off a chain of events, thrusting him into right into the chaos that is the parahuman world. A world with chipper zombies, truck driver wear ponies, maniacal necromancers, ancient dragons, and now one undead accountant trying to do his best to survive. Because even after it's over, life can still be a downright bloody mess. So this looks really, really fun to read, and I cannot wait. The next book I have is one that I'm really, really looking forward to. It's The Before Now and After Then by Peter Mon. And if you recognize that name, it's because he is a YouTuber and a booktuber and a vlogger on YouTube. And he's, in his words, YouTube famous now. This book blurb reads, Danny Goldstein has always lived in the shadow of his identical twin brother Sam. But when a hurricane of events forces him into the spotlight, he starts to realize that the only thing he's truly afraid of is himself. With the help of his costume-changing friend Cher, a famous gay uncle with a mysterious past of his own, two aging punk rocker parents, and Rusty, the boy who will become his something to live for, Danny begins to realize that the music of the heart is the only true sound, is truly the soundtrack for living. So this is a young adult, kind of coming of age LGBT book, and I have wanted to read it for a long time, pretty much ever since I found Peter Mon on YouTube, and I was able to buy it actually a couple of months ago, and I forgot to put it in my first booktube video, which won't seem like a couple months to you guys, but I recorded my first videos and then procrastinated really, really badly on actually making my YouTube channel. The next book I have is another one by Stephen King. If you can't tell, I am kind of working on a Stephen King obsession at the moment. It is The Shining. It's actually a reread. I read it a long, long time ago, but I'm fuzzy on the details that happened in the book that weren't in the movies. Most of my memories come from the Jack Nicholson version and the other version, and I cannot remember the actor who played Jack Torrance in that. its book blurb is, terrible events occur at an isolated hotel in the off-season, when a small boy with psychic powers struggles to hold his own against the forces of evil that are driving his father insane. So, pretty much everybody knows the plot to The Shining. And one of the reasons that I wanted to read this was because of the new book Doctor Sleep that came out. And I say recently, but it was actually a couple years ago, I believe. And I've also got it, and I want to read it, but I wanted to kind of rebuild my memories from the book so that I won't be entirely lost. So obviously, the next book is by Stephen King, and it is Doctor Sleep. Come on, there you go, Doctor Sleep. Its book blurb reads, Stephen King returns to the character and territory of one of his most popular novels ever, The Shining. It is in this instantly riveting novel about the now middle-aged Dan Torrance and the very special 12-year-old girl he must save from a tribe of murderous paranormals. On highways across America, a tribe of people called the True Knot travel in search of sustenance. They look harmless, mostly old, lots of polyester, and married to their RVs. But as Dan Torrance knows, the spunky 12-year-old Aberstone learns, the True Knot are quasi-immortal, living off the steam that children with the Shining produce when they are slowly tortured to death. Haunted by the inhabitants of the Overlook Hotel, where he spent one horrific childhood year, Dan has been drifting for decades, desperate to shed his father's legacy of despair, alcoholism, and violence. Finally, he settles in a New Hampshire town, an AA community that sustains him, and a job at a nursing home where his remnant shining power provides the crucial final comfort to the dying. Aided by a prescient cat he names Dr. Sleep. Then Dan meets the evanescent Aberstone, and it is her spectacular gift and the brightest shining ever seen that reignites Dan's own demons and summons him to a battle for Aber's soul and survival. This is an epic war between good and evil, a gory, glorious story that will thrill millions of devoted readers of The Shining and satisfy anyone new to this icon in the King canon. So it looks like it will be really good, just as good as the original. And it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to see if I have any other books. Let's see. I do have one book that was sent to me by the author for review. It's called Black Shift, The Consilence War, Book 1 by Ben Sheffield. There we go. It's a futuristic sci-fi spaceship robot war book. I don't know a whole lot about this one because I haven't looked up much about it, but it looks like it should be an interesting read. I had actually originally meant to read this one for Emoji-a-thon, but I totally lazied out towards the end of Emoji-a-thon and I didn't finish. I have been trying to participate in readathons, but I find that when they are longer, like I will give myself a ginormous TBR and try to hit like all of the challenges, and then I'll get like 2 books in and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to read anymore, whatever. So that was my second book haul. It was ginormous, probably bigger than the other one, but that is what I like to do. I'm getting fairly well known in my library for coming in and checking out like a mountain of books and then bringing them back a couple weeks later. And I think that at this point the librarians don't think I'm actually reading them. But perhaps if I can get some of them interested in YouTube and BookTube, they will see that I actually am reading these books and they will find a new way to enjoy books as well. So that's all I have. Um, please like and subscribe if you like my content, and follow me on all my social media. It's linked down below. And have a nice day.